Before you create another digital product, before you open Canva, before you outline another course, before you start something new that you swear up and down that you're going to finish this time, I need you to pause. Because if you don't do this one thing first, you're going to end up overwhelmed, second guessing yourself, and even wondering why your products aren't selling the way you hoped. And if you're a mompreneur, that frustration really does hit different because time is limited, energy is precious, and creating the wrong thing just costs more than just money. Today, we're slowing all the way down, not because you're behind, but because alignment always comes before acceleration. We'll talk about it more when we return. Hello and happy new year. Okay, I'm still going on the happy new year because it's still fresh. It's still January. It's still new, right? 2026. I bet you are still saying 2025 in certain conversations or even typing it when you're writing in on your computer, right? Or typing on your computer. So, yeah, listen. We are in a new year and I am so glad that you are joining me today for another episode of the Making of a Mompreneur Show. And if you don't already know, I am your girl, Rasheeda, the Digimompreneur, and I am the founder and CEO of Get Coaching, the host of the Making of a Mompreneur Show, as well as the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy. And I am so excited to be kicking off 2026 with you. This month, we have been going with the theme of aligned creation over overwhelm. Why? Because it's a new year. This is when we reset and we reestablish ourselves. And because this year we are actually not going to be operating out and creating out of pressure, comparison, or panic. Nope. We are creating with clarity, peace, and purpose. So if you are joining us live, go ahead and put hashtag live and let us know where you're tuning in from. So hashtag live New Jersey, hashtag live North Carolina, whatever it may be. Let us know how far and wide the reach of the mompreneur community is. Yes, we want to know. And if you're watching the replay, hey, we still love you because you're watching the replay. Hashtag replay and let us know. If you are familiar with how we roll, we usually do some notes and get out some good, juicy nuggets that you might want to take some notes about. So get your pen, paper, or digital device so that you can record your notes. And guess what? If you find that something is great and moving and exciting, and just something that's like a bone you chew on, you're like, okay, that was good. Oh, that was good. Go ahead and put hashtag nugget in the comments so that other people who may be scrolling can see that there is some good information inside of this show. And guess what else? If you have not already subscribed to our channel, then go ahead and hit that bell to be reminded about any of the next episodes that we drop, as well as subscribe to our channel so that you are in the know when we are dropping videos. And guess what? You can hit that playlist and just let them roll. Let all the videos just roll. Just watch it or listen to it at your leisure. And if you're in the Facebook group community, make sure that you are doing a thumbs up. If you're following the business page, do that. We just want to make sure that you are in the community that we have built in the Mompreneur HQ and the Digimompreneur Academy family. Today's episode is one that I probably heard over and over again and just ignored. And I don't know. Maybe I thought it wasn't that important, but now I know that because today's episode is called Before You Create Another Product, Do This. I'm going to tell you, sometimes that ADHD start kicking in and I'm like, oh boy, oh boy, oh Goya, because I really could just sit and create and create. I even got an award from ChatGPT, a little recognition for all the stuff I've created in there, along with the 2025 rollback. So that was very fun because I know Google does things like that, Google Photos. So I wasn't expecting it from ChatGPT, but Chat hooked me up with a little recognition on all the things that I've done in 2025. But the funny part is as I look at it, a lot of it was about creation. It was a lot of creation. And when I look at some of those products, none of them exist in real life. So because if we're being honest, really just laying it out on Front Street, many of us aren't stuck because we lack ideas. Like I said, I got plenty of ideas, and I've even asked ChatGPT to help me walk out and expand upon and develop and further develop my ideas. But the truth is, we're stuck because we have too many ideas and no real direction. Isn't that funny? How sometimes we just get so excited about something and we go run with it and we're like headstrong on this is it. And for some odd reason, it just never makes it. Similar to the vacation, the girls' trip that doesn't make it out of the group chat, that type of thing. Yeah. We're going to get started today. If you're ready, put hashtag ready in the comments so that I know that you are ready, because we're going to start with why random product ideas lead to burnout. Me even saying that, you're probably like, yeah, I agree. Right. So let's talk about why so many moms feel exhausted before they even launch. This is before you even launch. Just thinking about it. When you heard me say it, you was probably like, burnout doesn't usually come from just creating the products. It comes from creating without alignment. Lord help me if I haven't created, that's another thing. Normally I would have my word of the year. I've been toggling and now it's like the 8th of the month and I still haven't come up with my word of the year. But don't worry about it. We're going to get it. What happens is this. You see someone online selling a planner, so you think I should make one too. And then for me, not only do I think I should make one too, sometimes I really believe that I can make one better and I can sell it way better than the person that's selling theirs. Meanwhile, I see their ads. I'm not sure who's seeing my ads because I don't do ads on the regular. But that's just how my brain goes, because my mind just tells me I can do anything. Anything. But then someone else launches a course and suddenly you can feel behind. Then you have a moment of inspiration at midnight and start something new again. So now you've got half finished products, folders full of ideas, chat communications full of programs, and a quiet voice in your head saying, why can't I just finish something? But again, I need you to hear this clearly. You're not inconsistent. You're not lazy. You're not unfocused. You're creating without clarity. Now, when you don't know exactly who you're creating for, everything feels harder than it needs to be. You second guess your pricing, you struggle with your messaging, you lose motivation halfway through because deep down inside, you're not even sure who you are helping with this thing that you're so fixated upon. And then confusion always leads to overwhelm. God is not the author of confusion. So when creating feels chaotic, it's not a discipline problem. It's usually a clarity problem. Okay. So if we can identify who are you creating for right now, then we'll be in a better place. Why? Because one of the biggest mistakes mompreneurs make is trying to create for everybody they could help instead of the one woman they are actually called to serve right now. So, who are you creating for right now? And I want to free you from something today. You don't have to create for your forever audience. You don't have to create for your final destination or the woman you'll serve 5 years from now. You only need to create for the woman you understand deeply in this season. Most often, that woman looks a lot like a previous version of you. Is that the case for you? I know it is for me. So when I started my business, I was thinking about how I felt there was a gap. There was this missing thing. And for me, I thought it was this community of mom entrepreneurs. I was in my family, in my immediate family, I'm the entrepreneur, right? So I didn't have a bunch of entrepreneurs as friends. I didn't have a lot of entrepreneurs. I had some, but I didn't have an entrepreneur community. And so that's how Mompreneur HQ was started, because I felt like there was something that I needed when I was starting my business that I didn't get. As I mentioned, the woman that you're looking to help is usually a previous version of you. And it was the person like me who didn't have a community. She's asking the questions that you once asked. She's overwhelmed by what you've already figured out. And she's praying for clarity that you now carry naturally. And instead of choosing her, we try to create for everybody, which ends up resonating with who? Nobody, right? Because if you're trying to sell to everybody, you're really selling to nobody, because if everybody hears your message, they're not thinking it's for me. And so they're not going to buy it because it's not for me. It's for everybody else. So I want you to imagine one woman, not a demographic. We don't want to know her age and what city she lives in. We don't want to say busy moms. We don't want women entrepreneurs, because that's very vague and open-ended. We want one real person. She's scrolling late at night, tired but hopeful. She wants progress, not perfection. She doesn't need a massive transformation. She just needs relief, okay? When you get clear on her, and that her is usually your avatar or your ideal client avatar, you want to create something that becomes lighter for her, because now you're not performing, right? You're not putting on the show. You're not doing all the content and all this visual drawing in. You're really just serving. And that's kind of where I'm going with 2026. As I build out 2026 and who I'm looking to serve, I'm telling you, it is coming. It is really pivoting me in a different direction. Not so much different in that it's not going to be women, it's not going to be mom entrepreneurs, it's not going to be digital products, but in the way that I connect with people. And so you may see some communications coming out shortly. I'm thinking about doing a small cohort of women and working with them to create their business, identify what their business is, because for me, I need to niche down, most certainly, but I still have a passion to help women build businesses. So in the event that the person that I'm looking to help doesn't even want to do digital products, they have a product based business and they just need help with marketing, or they just need to know how to set up their booth. All of these things are things that may not be under my current scope, but that I'm feeling called or led to help women in those areas. So I'm thinking about doing a small cohort, about 5 people. I have 3 people in mind already. So possibly may send an email or communication opening up for maybe 2 or 3 more women to assist. So keep your eyes open. If you're on my email list, keep your eyes open on the emails coming from Rasheeda, aka the Digimompreneur, and see if that opportunity is opened up for you. Mind you, I'm saying this, but if I'm led a different way, then it may not happen, or it may just only happen for the 3 people that I'm thinking about who I really feel like I can help and assist. But meanwhile, at the ranch, I want you to really think about how you can align yourself in serving and walking out your purpose. So with that, I'm going to go to like the 15-minute alignment shift. Before you create anything new, I want you to sit with 3 simple questions. They're very simple questions to help you to get in alignment with what it is that you are purposed to do, who you are purposed to serve. And the first question I want you to ask yourself is, who do I feel genuinely called to help right now? Not pressured to help, not trying to impress, but called. Who is that? Second, what is the one thing that feels heavy for her right now? Who is she? And what is really pressing or weighing her down right now? Not everything, not her entire life, Just one problem that keeps her stuck or overwhelmed. And then third, what is one small outcome I or you can help her experience in the next 30 days? Again, we're not looking for a life overhaul, not a six-figure promise in 30 days, just movement from A to B, not A to Z, from A to B. Now, when you answer those three questions honestly, I'm telling you, something's going to shift. Suddenly, your product doesn't need to be big. Why? Because you're trying to get to one specific person to help her with one specific problem with your one revolutionary offer. And it's going to be revolutionary because you've identified who it is for specifically. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be aligned. And alignment feels peaceful, even when it stretches you. So if it feels like, oh, this is too much, I got to do this, I got to do that, pressure feels frantic, even when it looks productive. And if you feel like you're so pressured and you feel like this is too much and it's, oh, I got to create it, guess what? That's not alignment. It's not alignment. And so I want to talk to you, pause for a moment just to talk to you about alignment over anxiety, because some of you are carrying a quiet guilt. Maybe it's guilt for those unfinished products I just talked about. I might have been laughing and smiling about it, but honestly, it could be a little hurtful. It can be, and it can be make you feel a little guilty. Oh, I created all this stuff and I didn't get it out to the world. And there's somebody who's waiting for me to, there may be some guilt there for those unfinished products. I don't want you to carry that guilt. There's some guilt possibly for those ideas that you never launched. You have them still locked in your head or in the one of the 77 journals that you have on your desk, in your drawers, on your nightstand, in your library. You may be feeling guilty about starting over again because you had to take breaks once you had your child, or because your schedule just didn't allow, or because you became unmotivated because it seemed so heavy, and possibly because it was out of alignment. I want you to release that today. Don't hold on to that. Those weren't failures. They were signals that you were moving without clarity. And that's where we want you to be. This year, we want to move differently. We are not going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, because that is the definition of sanity, right? Insanity, right? Where you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We're not doing that in 2026. Did we say that? We're not doing that in 2026. We don't rush creation. We root it, and we stop building from anxiety and start creating from divine assignment. So before our next episode, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop brainstorming new ideas. You don't need another one. Not one more idea. Okay? No, you don't need it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you got a bunch of them already that's sitting in the pile we just talked about, or sitting in your chat GPT message flows, conversations. You already have enough. We don't need that. We don't need that. Stop brainstorming new ideas. And I heard once before, I'm trying to think of it, but every idea that you have is not meant for you. Okay? And I'll just say that every idea that you have is not meant for you. And for me, I have a lot of ideas across a lot of genres, a lot of them, a lot of them. My brain does not shut down. So I'm always thinking, I'm always talking to ChatGPT, because I'll be like, look, I got another idea. One day he's going to come back to me and say, do you really need another one of those? Just like I'm saying here, we don't need to brainstorm another idea, not another one. And even if an idea came to our mind, you write it in your notebook. And guess what? In your notebook, you can actually assign it to someone else, right? So if I have an idea to start a line of greeting cards. I love the idea of the greeting cards. I was thinking about the idea of greeting cards, but guess what? I'll share it with somebody else who can start their own business. And hey, maybe they'll hire me as a coach to do it. But meanwhile, at the ranch, it's out of my brain, and now someone else is in charge of it, and I can let it go. I had an idea of starting a obituary business. Joined a bunch of groups, got my templates ready, and I was like, but why? And the only answer I came up with is because I can. Because I can. Really, when I started, it was because of someone had passed away and needed thinking about these things, even in the future. One of the things that I wanted to do was to prep in a preparation type way. As I was doing my birthday magazine, I was thinking that maybe I could also do my obituary. That sounds bleak, right? That is how one of the thoughts came up, because these are things that people are left to do, and you want it to be done right. So that was my idea, and I could do it, and I'm going to do it, and then I didn't do it. We don't need to brainstorm. That's something for somebody else. I was thinking about some different slogans for Christmas. Christmas sweatshirts. I did all these slogans. I came up with the artwork and everything, and I've never released it. And why? Because I don't have to be the one to do all the ideas in my mind. So as I'm talking to you, as we say in the church, as I minister to you, I'm ministering to myself. Okay? This is not about me pointing fingers and saying you, because it is most certainly I as well. I want you to stop brainstorming new ideas, because I don't want to be brainstorming new ideas, because I know there is something that needs to happen, something that needs to change, something that needs to shift in order for me to go to the next level. And I want you to come along with me. I want you to stop adding things to your to-do list, because it keeps getting longer and longer. And that includes things with your business. You do not need to keep adding accounting to your business, to your to-do list. You don't need to get you a service or pay you an assistant. And so let somebody else do that. You don't need to keep doing all of the things. Instead, I want you to take 15 quiet minutes and answer those 3 questions we talked about. If you have to break it down into segments and different parts of your business, do that. 15 minutes. Answer those questions. Who are you serving? What does she need most right now? And what one small win can you help her to achieve? Now, we said in 30 days, but you may be able to, with your business, you may be able to help someone in 7 days, 21 days. That clarity will guide everything else that we do this year. So, if you want help walking through this process with structure and support, then I've created a product alignment worksheet that helps you to get this clarity on paper, out of your head and on paper, without overthinking it. And if you're ready to stop creating alone and want real guidance, accountability, and strategy that fits your mom life, this is exactly what we do inside the Digimompreneur Academy. DMA isn't about doing more. It's about creating what makes sense for you in this season. So, we are going to be continue to talk about alignment, but of course, we're going to be tying in things about digital products, because that is the season that we are in 2026. How to create digital products, how to find the niche of digital products you want to create. We're talking about print on demand, all of these things, because your capacity matters just as much as your calling, we want to make sure that you are in alignment with what it is that you want to do for your future, building your legacy, as well as having a business, a digital product business that allows you the time, location, and money freedom that you deserve so that you can spend those precious moments with your family. Clarity comes before creation. And when we are creating without clarity or alignment, then that's where the chaos comes in. So I want you to breathe, pause, and remember that you are in control, even when it feels like you're not. You are in control of where your business is going to go. And if you let God lead you, you can go even further beyond your imagination. So I'll see you the next time on the Making of the Mompreneur Show. Until next time.